Welcome back for another. And we're back. Another episode of Marvel Watch Alongs. Thank you for joining the Illuminerdi. I'm Braxton Timberlake. With me, we have Caitlin.
Hi.
We got Richard.
What's up?
And we got TC rounding it out.
What's up, everybody in the chat? Good to be here.
We're back for episode 3 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And this is where things are supposed to get hot. So I'm excited. Caitlin,
Right.
how you doing? What are you expecting for this week?
Oh, I'm hoping we finally see Sharon Carter. That'd be very cool. I'm really excited for Helmut Zemo because that tease at the end of him was great, and you know that there's going to be some chaos when he gets in there. So I don't know. I'm just very excited to see some of the characters we've been waiting for.
Absolutely. Richard, how you feeling about this episode?
I'm pretty damn excited. I mean, like Caitlin said, Zemo's coming in. I hope we get some Sharon Carter stuff. I mean, we're getting Bucky and Falcon kind of, reluctantly finally teaming up together. I think there's definitely going to be some more drama in there, obviously. But the Zemo stuff is going to be awesome this week, and I can't wait for that.
Absolutely. TC, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, let's get some Zemo stuff in there. Let's get some more douchey U.S. agent. I want to see that continue. We'll sprinkle in a little Sharon Carter, and then just have the pacing be as fantastic as last episode. And yeah, I'm just ready for it. I think last episode was definitely just one of the just best episodes in any Disney Plus series ever.
Yeah, it's seeming like things are really building. The first episode, we kind of got the first mention of the super soldier serum. The second episode, we got proof that the super soldier serum was actually historic past of the Marvel universe with Isaiah Bradley. So things are really pumping up. I'm really pumped. Last episode for me was cool because it kind of took a turn. Like, originally the super soldier serum really seemed like, okay, they're using this as kind of like a steroid analogy, and it's kind of like an escalation deal where they're trying to keep up with the next level. So I'm really excited to see where things escalate from here. So the last episode ended with Baron Zemo. Richard, what can you tell us about Zemo? What are you excited about?
Well, I just can't wait for him to be in the MCU again. I mean, he was the big villain of Captain America Civil War, which, now came out 5 years ago. He's just been kind of sitting in prison ever since. We don't know if he's been blipped. We don't know what he's been doing for the last probably 7 years in MCU timeline. But he was always one of my favorite villains, from Phase 3. I mean, he kicked off Phase 3 brilliantly. He's still, to date, one of the only villains in the MCU that actually succeeded in his plan. He tore the Avengers apart, and I can't wait to see what a newly, rejuvenated, revengified Helmut Zemo is going to do with this series.
Well, with that being said, Caitlin, how do you think he's going to be introduced in this episode? We know that they're going to go visit him in his prison. Are they going to try to break him out? Are they going to get him out diplomatically? Is he going to break himself out? What's going to happen here? How is Zemo going to get into the plot?
Well, I'm guessing, at least for Sam, he assumes they're going to go visit and talk to him and nothing's going to come of it. I think if anyone's going to bust him out, it's going to be Bucky. And it's very much going to be he's a better choice than stupid fake Captain America. And you're like, I don't know about that. That might not totally be true. But yeah, I could definitely see Zemo maybe getting himself out, because one of the best things about him as a villain is he never actually fought the Avengers. He was just super manipulative and got them to fight each other. So I'm going to guess it's either going to be he kind of maneuvers his way out, or maybe Bucky breaks him out.
That's actually an interesting point, because he has no powers at all, right? As far as we know, he's just super manipulative. So that's a good point.
And a soldier.
And a soldier, exactly. And he has the power of vengeance behind him, so that's a powerful weapon, right?
Yeah.
The power of anger.
Right. TC, how do you think he's going to figure into it?
he's playing chess while everyone's playing checkers right now. So I think he's gonna be the puppet master. I think it might go some way of like the Suicide Squad thing where they kind of need him or they let him out for a little bit, but they have like not a bomb in his head or anything like that, but they have him on a leash. I see him going rogue and yeah, he's got to get the mask on somehow. we know we know he's in the mask later, so
it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting.
Veer off on his own.
The director recently said in an interview that as far as Baron Zemo goes, he's going to subvert our expectations. So whatever we're expecting is going to be the opposite. So that really took me for a turn. Because
I hate that term, subvert your expectations now. It just has a negative connotation to everything that comes with it.
Giving you flashbacks to WandaVision.
The Last Jedi, WandaVision. Stop subverting our expectations, please.
Just meet my expectations. That's all I want. My expectations are here. I just want you to be here too.
I don't want to be subverted. No more subversion.
I mean, I probably have like the weirdest expectations for this because my bet is when they tell him that they're fighting super soldiers, he actually goes, "Oh, okay, I'll help with that."
Right. You know, speaking of super soldiers and Zemo, I was wondering, do you think he actually knows about the existence of Isaiah Bradley?
Yeah, I would say yeah. He had the Hydra book. He knew stuff that like no one else knew unless they were in Hydra. So I guess yeah.
If anybody knows about it, it's him.
Yeah.
So do you think he's going to use that knowledge to kind of hold it over Sam and Bucky? Or do you think that he's going to actually be an asset as far as that goes?
I don't think we're going to know until like the finale. I feel like we're never going to know where he stands.
He's kind of like a Loki, right? In terms of like, is he with you? Is he not?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of those where he's ambiguously going along with the team until he doesn't want to anymore.
Yeah.
Shay from the Illuminerdi is saying he pretends to be a part of the Flag Smashers and actually becomes friends with Sam and Bucky.
So let's move it over to Isaiah Bradley. Do you think we're going to see him this episode? Do you think we already come back to him later? What do you guys think?
I wouldn't necessarily expect to see him this episode, but I do really hope we come back to him later. I think there's a lot more story there.
I want to see him in action. Yes, I hope we do come back to him later. I don't think it'll be in this one. We just saw him, so give us a little break. And but I think he'll be back later, and he's still got that strength. So I want to see some fight scenes with him.
Just give him a tin can. Put it to work.
That's all he needs.
Yeah, I'm expecting for his shadow to loom over the episode, but I'm expecting we won't actually see him. But man, that was a really cool introduction. That kind of I've been thinking about all week, so I'm excited for more. So another thing that people are expecting to see in this episode is Madripoor. Richard, can you tell us a little bit about Madripoor from the Marvel Universe?
Well, classically, it's the home of Wolverine from the X-Men comics. So I've heard a lot about Madripoor being in this show. I mean, we've talked about it for most of the last year or so, ever since set photos came out. I don't think they'll do anything like super fully X-Men yet, but the seeds are being laid out right now for their arrival. I don't know if it's going to come before our Mutants exclusive that we dropped, but they're on the way for sure.
If they name drop anything like Weapons Plus or anything, that could lead into Weapon X. That could lead into the Weapon X program, and then there you go. There's the Wolverine origin in the MCU.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
because it was retconned in the comics that Weapon X is really Weapon 10, right? So, and originally Captain America's Weapon 1, I guess, is how it works out, or something like that, right?
It seems like a route that they would go.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see. I'm not expecting to see any actual mutants. Maybe Easter eggs here or there. But I am curious how it figures into the plot, to the larger plot. Like, why do they have to go there? Is that where the power broker is? Is that where they're going to go meet Sharon Carter? Is she, in exile? How does she fit into the story? What do you think about Sharon Carter, Caitlin?
Oh, I'm really excited to see her. I mean, the fact that she's been on the run since Civil War is insane because that's just been years and years for the MCU. So, Yeah, I could see her maybe being a Madripoor, because that's sort of like not off the grid, but you're not going to have a lot of like CIA folks looking for you there, probably.
Do you think she has regrets for helping Cap out? Like, that's a long time. She feels like she's the only one on the run all this time, right?
I would say no, probably just because she grew up, like, Peggy Carter was her favorite aunt, you know? Like, she grew up hearing stories about this guy, and then she met him, and, you know, he's Captain America, he's Steve Rogers, he's great. So I don't think she'd have regrets about that. I think if anything, she'd be annoyed that, like, Bucky got pardoned and not her. That's what I'd be irritated about.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's like, the assassin got pardoned? I stole a shield.
The one that killed half of the Marvel Universe?
Oh, man.
What are you thinking about Sharon Carter, TC?
I mean, we haven't seen her since, Civil War? So I don't really care about Sharon Carter, but if she pops up in this show and she like makes me care about her, then cool. Do something interesting. So yeah, I'm ready to see her again.
That's what's up. So I'm excited. So the stakes have been set for the 3rd episode. Things are high. I'm hoping we get this is a high octane action episode. I'm really hoping, because we got a lot of character stuff. So like this feels like a good time to really let loose and see Bucky and Sam battle together, because we've got a lot of like separate kind of things aside from the truck fight. So I really want to see another one of the Lethal Weapon type of comedy / action scenes happening.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're more in sync, because even in the truck fight, they're like fighting next to each other.
Right.
And
trying not to get each other killed.
Oddly, this episode doesn't have a title. It's just called Episode 3. You guys see that?
Yeah, it'll probably be on by the end of it. I think they usually like start off with just Episode 3, but it is the longest episode yet. It's like about.
Oh, I have a title.
Longer.
I have a title on mine. It says Power Broker.
Oh, there we go. That's spoiler. No wonder they left the titles so late. So okay, well, with that being said, it sounds like we'll get some more information about the Power Broker. I'm excited. What are you thinking about the Power Broker, Richard?
I mean, I don't know a ton about him from the comics, unfortunately, but from what I do know, I feel like he could connect up with US Agent in the end somehow. Like, I don't know if US Agent has any other special abilities, maybe he's taking the serum or whatever, but actually I was talking about this with my wife earlier when we were watching the other episode, that maybe US Agent goes to him and tries to get the serum out of Power Broker, or they somehow team up with each other. I think that would be a cool way to kind of introduce him into the fold.
That'd actually be a cool. So while Bucky and Sam are on their mission to find Zemo, John Walker's on his mission to get juiced. So that kind of makes sense for this episode. Yeah. And they're both kind of tracking the Power Broker from different angles. If it's indeed one person, or maybe it's an organization, who knows how they handle it in this iteration.
Well, in the last episode, they did have it where the lead flag smasher, she was getting the texts that were saying, like, you stole from me, I'm going to kill you. And then in the end, the agents after her worked for Power Broker, they said. Right. So, yeah, I think it could be both, but I'm excited.
I've been hearing a lot of wild Marvel theorists predict that the Power Broker might not actually be the Power Broker, but it might actually be a character that we actually already know or been introduced to previously, either from the MCU or just from pages of Marvel Comics. Do you think there's any chance of that, or do we think that the Power Brokers is going to be a new villain that we're meeting?
There's definitely a chance.
Subverting our expectations.
So
it might be somebody we've already seen.
Half hour into this episode, TC just like dips.
Well, having these expectations are good because Marvel sets them. So I mean, like, what do they expect?
Right.
I will say, I think the Power Broker is going to be one of those. I think he's going to be kind of connected to a lot of the different story elements. I think because we know already he's connected to Flag Smashers. I would not be shocked if he got connected with US Agent, because he does in the comics. And I personally, I would guess that the way he has the super soldier serum is tied to Isaiah Bradley.
I want to start to find out like a ranked list in terms of like who's like the main villain of this show. Because right now we have U.S. Agent, we got the Power Broker coming in, and then Zemo. So I just kind of want to start to put the rank them in terms of okay, who's on top, who's the mid-level boss, and who's the kind of the lackey.
That's actually a good point.
Who's
because
Darkseid, who's Desat, and who's Steppenwolf in the Snyder.
Don't talk about the Snyder Cut right now.
It's hard to I mean, that's a good point because I think they're doing it intentionally. Everyone has like shades of gray to them aside from Bucky and Sam because we kind of know where they're coming from. But every single villain, it seems like, okay, well, I can understand what the Flag Smashers are coming from. Or John Walker initially seems like, well, yeah, it seems like his heart is in the right place. He wants to be good. But each of them all have their flaws. So that's an interesting point. And I think that's part of the mystery of this show. As episodes go, we'll slowly start to see it. And the other interesting thing is this is the 3rd episode. So that means that we're halfway through the series already.
Yeah.
It's flying by. It's flying by. All right.
They got to get into the meat right now, episode 3.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. That means we're firmly in Act 2, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No doubt.
But
Well,
yeah, I'm definitely hoping for some action, right? Rex, like
We got it.
you gotta.
Well, I feel like this is a good time to have action, and then 4 or 5 you can kind of lay the groundwork for the big finale.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, we'll see what happens. You guys ready to jump in?
Yes.
Yep.
Last thing
All right.
before we do, Shay
Yeah,
said,
of course.
I hope episode 4 is called Expectations Subverted.
No. Man. They're like, no, this is not really Zemo. This is an actor playing Zemo, like the Mandarin twist people on us.
Oh man.
Man, Ralph Boner just burned you so hard.
Right?
It was such a troll. It was the largest corporate troll I've ever seen.
Well done.
It was legit a Ben Kingsley Mandarin part 2, basically.
Well, yeah, the director said that he loved that twist in Iron Man 2.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah. He said it on I can't remember what podcast, but he said it on a podcast, so I'm pretty sure that it came from that.
Right.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah,
The most like loved twist in Marvel history.
Right.
Well, another thing that either a director or one of the writers said is that a lot of things are going to be coming back full circle. A lot of the characters are going to be coming back. A lot of themes are going to be coming back and shown in a different light. So let's see if they can make stuff fresh again. I don't know.
We'll see.
All right. So you guys all timed up?
No one's seen this, right?
No.
No.
Okay.
Marvel's just been giving the press the first episode, the first couple of episodes of things, and then letting everyone experience everything together. So
Yeah.
we're all getting spoiled and all getting everything together.
Yeah.
All right.
None of us have seen it.
All right. So we have the timer going?
Hit us with the countdown, Brex.
All right. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Right.
Yeah, she'll be in this episode.
Yeah.
She's gotta be.
Name drop.
How would Sam remember Siberia? He wasn't there.
That's a good point. But well, he knew that Steve and Bucky were going to Siberia.
Oh.
So here we go.
More blip trauma.
Well, these are the guys that the Flag Smashers are against.
Yeah. Also, I thought we were done with commercials after WandaVision, man.
Really, really. That's wasting my time right now with this commercial.
This doesn't match.
Oh, hello.
Oh yeah, they gotta explain the shield physics in this.
Yep, that's Captain America right there.
Maybe don't target civilians, dude. Wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
He's got his anger issues.
Why would he? He's not American.
Good for this dude.
Right. He knows he's not souped up. Just a guy.
Does he have something personal against her?
Yeah, she kicked his ass.
Yeah, that's fair.
He just got straight up spit on, had to take it. Oof.
Right.
I feel like this won't go well.
Yeah. You know what I've always wanted is for him to start trying to get Bucky under mind control again, and Bucky goes with it, but then just like
Mission report. He just says it.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, and then he like says it with him or something, just totally screws with him. I doubt that'll happen, but that'll be great. That's some Gage.
We have a history together. Yes, a bad one. He doesn't like you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yep, here we go.
Wasted no time. That ain't gonna
Wow.
work.
First thing out of his mouth.
I like the lighting. He looks like a skull.
Oh my god, I didn't
No,
think
good
they...
point.
Yep, there we go.
He knows.
Wow.
They look like they could be brothers.
A little bit. No, you're not.
I actually believe him. There we go.
Here we go. course he does. God, what did you do?
Of course.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The master manipulator.
The meatware.
The meatware. He will kill you tonight. Oh boy.
Oh wow, Bucky.
Guess he just assumed that he wasn't.
Bucky's using Zemo tactics.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think this is Zemo's plan. Like, he just had this locked and loaded.
Right.
So anybody Zemo kills after he's released is on Bucky's head.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what's their plan? To break him back in the jail after?
Or kill him.
Yeah.
Bucky's not about that life anymore, all right?
Well,
Also, this is cool too because isn't Daniel Bruhl German in real life?
He's already out.
yeah.
There it comes. Yeah. Nope.
Apologies. Because it went so well the first time.
Why does
Fair
Bucky
enough.
have so much trust in freaking Zemo?
Right. Why?
I in control.
Yo, Sam's hanging out with a bunch of criminals, yo.
Yep. Do you think he's regretting teaming with these guys and not John Walker?
I don't want to hang out with John Walker.
That's
for a
sketch,
day.
man. That's
I'm not saying you want to, but I feel like you get caught in this, it's way worse. These are cool cars.
Yeah.
yeah. Let's go.
Oh, wow.
Okay, he actually has a plan, so there is that.
That's
He also grabbed his mask and stared at it ominously.
that totally would have been Stanley if you were still alive.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yep. Still Zemo. Oh. Wait.
He stole it.
Oh.
He took his list.
Yeah.
Pick the list. Yeah, Bucky could kill him and it wouldn't even hurt.
Oh, that's the same book?
Oh, God.
What do you say? He's right.
Yep. I feel like this is part of why Sam didn't take the shield.
Yep.
Oh my god, this is a trio I never knew I needed. There we go.
It's a nice Godzilla vs. Kong reference. Oh, he called him James.
Yeah, he has
Well,
been.
he did the same thing when he was interrogating him in Civil War.
He's gonna have to mimic the Winter Soldier and just.
Do you think he's gonna get a wig?
For the hair. Yeah.
The mask is coming back. It's got
Yeah.
it.
Hell yeah. Oh.
Eye black. Let's go.
Oh, Grandma. Oh, there we go. Okay. Interesting.
They've really changed the Flag Smashers.
Yeah. There we go.
Godzilla versus Kong. Let's go.
All right.
Neon City.
Oh, Lord.
What is he wearing?
Wow.
That's a cool looking city.
Yeah. How long do you think they're going to be here?
That's a cool bridge. Ooh.
That is cool.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Power Broker is watching.
There we
There we go.
Wow.
Sam should have put those shades on.
Right. Wow. Oh, he was just saying that for show. Okay.
He's famous here.
There.
Was that her? Was that her?
I think that's Sharon Carter.
No.
That's it could have been.
Yeah, it's her.
He looks like Daniel.
Oh no.
Oh. Okay then.
He did that on purpose.
That's messed up.
Oof, he's gonna drink that.
Drink it.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and say no. Yeah.
I love these. Come on, man.
You-
Give a thumbs up.
Wow.
Still sus.
I was just about to say that exact word.
Oh.
New haircut.
Yeah, who's Selby?
Is that the nickname for Winter Soldier?
No, it's a woman they're meeting.
Oh.
Wait, why is Winter Soldier so popular here?
Criminals.
He must be feared.
Yeah. Okay. Oof.
They're all recording it on their phone. That is so
Wow. Bucky's doing all this for show, eh?
Yeah. He's probably not hurting anybody too badly, but
He is using it.
Easy for you to say.
wow.
Ask that guy he just launched into the wood. into the wood.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Well, that worked.
I think he broke rule 2.
Don't hurt anyone. Yeah, he probably did. He probably hurt a couple people.
Nice. There's your slow motion shot, TC.
She looks familiar. Wow.
How does he see that playing out?
Right.
That describes him to a T.
Totally.
Really?
Oh God.
Hmm.
Oh God.
Could go poorly.
That's why you keep your phone on silent.
Right.
Yeah.
Sam. Oh.
Oh damn.
Who the hell killed her?
Power broker.
Or Sharon, maybe.
Yeah.
You should have been like, can't talk right now. Gotta go.
Oh wow, the whole city's gonna go after him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yo, Zemo.
Zemo dipped.
Yeah.
Totally dipped.
That's Sharon. It's gotta be, right?
Wait, there he is. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Here we go. Nice.
Well.
I'd be bitter too.
That's not the opening for that.
No.
Weren't they just being hunted?
You know.
Hey. Yeah, she's pissed. Wow.
Yeah, I feel like they should have fought a little bit for her to get pardoned, maybe.
Yeah.
Or
We
been
just-
like, hey, we're sharing it.
Yeah, right? Like something.
Wow.
The obligatory shirtless Marvel scene.
Right. Wow.
No, you can't. You could have if you were working with Captain America. Does Sam have the power to actually do this?
Probably
I
not.
don't think so,
Yeah.
but he's gonna try.
If he'd been less of a jerk to fake Captain America, that might have helped.
Yeah.
This
Oh
is
my
like
God.
my favorite team up right now.
Zemo and Sam and Bucky.
And Sharon. Just
Yeah,
judging
this is-
the entire time.
This is pretty solid.
So they're just out on a night at the club, just chilling right now.
I think this is her place because they're all selling the paintings. So I think this is hers.
Wow. That was awkward.
What, Zemo dancing?
Yeah.
That whole scene was just to show Zemo do the fist pump. Call of Duty shipment, anybody?
I like this like metaphor that they're setting up. I hope we see it more
Me too.
in other shows and movies and stuff too. I mean, like mutants probably, but
Yeah.
God, he's just walking into a trap. The door to be closed on you.
at least Bucky's standing in the doorway.
Ugh.
I mean, smart move there. Yeah, for sure. So,
There we go, Chessmaster.
okay. All right.
I need to get me one of those.
I just love a house with like secret entrances all over the place.
That is my
Right.
dream.
You pull a book from the bookshelf. Boom.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Opens
totally.
up.
It's
That's
like
exactly
it's-
how I want it. Book from the bookshelf.
Then slide down into the man cave.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
totally. Was the power broker?
No, it's scientist. Nagel.
Oh yeah, right. Nagel, yeah.
Walter White. Oh no, he sounds like Jesse Eisenberg.
Do you think it's people just there for the bounty, or do you think they work for Power Broker?
Or Zemo. Damn.
She took him, damn, all three.
Okay.
Damn. Don't mess with Sharon Carter in a pipe.
She about to get. Oh.
She's not about to get.
All right.
Why doesn't she just act? All right, why didn't she just act like? Oh my God, like she's
Oh.
one of the bounty hunters.
Oh, it's over.
Crack it.
The guy Zemo killed.
Yep.
Isaiah Bradley.
Correct.
Wow.
Okay, take it down a notch.
Chill.
Heisenberg. Chill out.
You're not in the CIA, dude. Oh.
There we go. Okay.
$20.
Oh. Here we go. Oh. Oh God. He's not gonna make it.
What happened to her, I bet, is she was living in a house that someone else used to own, so she got kicked out.
Whoa! Damn.
Hey, they're just leaving her out there just to struggle, man.
For a really
real.
long time.
She's
For
probably
real.
taking down like 12 guys at this point, right?
Do you think they can hear this, like, over their comms the entire time?
You would think so.
I mean, she told him she was in trouble.
Right? They're like, she's probably fine.
And that was 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. I'd be even more pissed if I was her.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep. Of course. Come
Yep,
on.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
Oh, damn.
Of course, yeah.
God damn it.
What do they expect him to do? His whole point is stopping the super soldier program.
Yeah, this might be how he does it.
If that guy can't, if that guy's the only one who can make it, well.
Oh,
Whoa.
damn.
How are they not dead?
This is so weird. Seeing them with guns.
Oh.
Oh, here we go.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you guys think he escapes, or do you think he helps them?
Oh, good question. I think it escapes.
This looks pretty escapey to me. The fact that they found a way to make the purple mask look awesome, like,
Yeah.
good for them.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
that's an allusion to Commando, old Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Nice.
Go low in that.
Interesting. What?
Yo, is that it with Sharon Carter?
That can't.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Solid. Put your seat up. No.
Wait a second.
Who's that? And what is she doing?
Is she Power Broker? Because she just had a driver.
Yeah.
How does she know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, how does she know?
Huh.
You know, it's so weird. Like, he sounds like such a jerk when he's talking like that, but that totally feels like something Steve would do.
Interesting.
Because
I mean,
Steve
yeah.
works off the books all the time.
Right, and Winter Soldier, like with Bucky, he didn't
Yeah.
listen to shit.
Yeah. So is Isaiah.
Hmm.
Wow.
Zemo's playing them all right now.
Oh God, absolutely.
Oh man, I can feel the cliffhanger coming on.
Me too. We're halfway there, so gotta be something.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Whoa. Jeez. Okay.
Did she just do that? Oh, you just crossed a line, dude.
Yep. There we go.
She's
Carly's
done.
going
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't feel sorry for her no more.
No.
Nope. Me neither. He's not good.
Not a good idea. We go on a random walk.
Yeah. Right when we get to wherever they need to be.
What is that?
What is that?
Oh no.
Shit.
Do you think that's Lamar and Walker?
Maybe.
You think he sensed that they were being tracked or something?
I think he can hear it.
We probably can, actually. Good call there.
I was gonna say the liquid condom.
Whoa.
Okay, that's a twist.
Wait,
I
what?
was gonna say those bees look Wakandan.
Nice.
I thought they looked Wakandan.
Okay, I did not expect that.
Subverting expectations.
They did.
Wow.
Okay, wow. Nice.
Why does she want Zemo?
Because he killed the king.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that's right, T'Chaka.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Bozeman's gonna show up?
Oh shoot.
That would be amazing.
No, they
I
can't
don't
do
think
that.
so, but that'd be amazing.
I mean, I doubt it, but this could have been filmed before he died.
Nah, it was filmed or
Because they were a lot of the way through filming when everything shut down.
yeah, but then they went back and filmed again.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that itself was crazy. I'm just thinking how it could get any crazier. Yeah, of all the people I expected to show up there, that definitely wouldn't have made my top 5.
That was not even on my radar.
Not
Nope.
even sort of.
It's funny because when I saw the beats, I'm like, "This look Wakandan." I was like, "I'm not even saying nothing. That's
what I was
ridiculous."
thinking, too. I
That's
thought they looked
ridiculous.
like the Wakandan beads, like the ones from Shuri. Damn.
We all like learned better from WandaVision, and then immediately we're proven wrong.
Right.
You know what the tagline of all these Disney Plus series is? It should be Quicksilver from Age of Ultron. You didn't see that coming?
Yeah.
That's just the tagline for all of these series.
Feels like
Wow.
they're gonna do something like that. Like they're really gonna do something like that at the end of every episode. Like they're gonna just leave a major cliffhanger.
So
well, the
far
def-
we had U.S. Agent at the end of episode 1, Zemo at episode 2, and now this.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Is it? They're mimicking the comic, the comic setup where you got to get the next issue.
Right.
Oh wow! Interesting. All right, well let's talk about this. The first thing I thought was interesting. The episode was called Power Broker, but I think the episode should have been called Baron Zemo because he was all over the place here.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Man. Wow. All right. Well,
Did they ever say the power broker was a man? Did they ever use a pronoun?
I don't.
I didn't
think
hear a
so,
pronoun. No.
I don't think so.
I'm kind of leaning with you, Caitlin. Like, is Sharon Carter the power
Right?
broker? Like, she obviously has a bigger role because of what she
Yeah.
got
He's
in that
not getting
car.
that deposit back if it was a rental. Us in the comics, in the comments.
Well, let's look at the clues. I mean, she's filthy rich.
Hmm.
It didn't seem like she actually wanted the pardon because she could have went back with them. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would have trusted they would have worked, but she still could have. You know what I mean? Like,
She could have tried.
yeah. And then in just on more of a plot level, her character is done, right? And they're really marketing her, so she has to come back, like TC said. So
She's got. I mean, she was in 2 MCU movies as a pretty important role. I would think she's going to be in more than 1 episode.
Not only that, she's been like, she completely doesn't believe any of this anymore. She's like,
Yeah.
It's all fake, it's all hypocrisy. And this is Peggy Carter's niece.
Yeah.
Like,
She's a
I don't
direct descendant of one of the founders of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right? Wouldn't you think this would just kind of be like ingrained in her subconscious? So the fact that she's so far gone that she's like, none of it matters. I'm kind of like, oh man.
Did she show like any hint of like a dark side besides what she was saying in terms of it being hypocrisy and just not believing in it?
She's selling art illegally. She's in Hightown. I mean, you're not there for an accident. You earned your way there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So she was in Madripoor in the first place.
She beat like a ton of bounty hunters, just kind of an insane amount.
right, it's true.
Over 10. Yeah.
And then
it was
I was
she's
thinking
got
at least 12.
right, and then she's got a driver. And her reaction when Zemo shot Nagel was to like try and stop him.
Right?
I mean, like maybe it was because don't kill people, but also you just killed a bunch of people.
She did. She did do
Yeah.
that.
She did.
That'd be crazy. But I'm also having the moment of, we have an episode called Power Broker and we never see Power Broker and we don't really learn anything new about Power Broker.
They
Right?
shouldn't have titled the episode Power
Yeah.
Broker.
I was expecting something.
It should have been
And then-
titled Madrigal or
Yeah, Madripoor.
Yeah.
Madripoor? Yeah. Well, because like we knew Madripoor was coming for a long time. It wouldn't have been too much of a spoiler if they titled it that.
They delivered on action for this episode, that's for sure. I mean, it's interesting. Like, it felt like there was very little character development. It was all like plot. But
Yeah.
then, like, just the pulling the rug from under us a couple of different times was pretty crazy. One thing I was kind of tripping off of was I never really imagined Zemo as a physical character, and like he can kick ass too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
All of
he kind of, the
With
first
Civil
movie
War.
did kind of showed like his ingenuity. Like he shot that thing that exploded and
Right.
just exploded those two pieces right after he put the mask on too. So yeah, that's what he should do. Like use his brain over like his fighting
He's always
skills.
been brilliant. So
Well,
Yeah.
wasn't he like, because we know he was a soldier, but wasn't it like a death squad or something? Like it was or special forces or
I
something.
think
It
it was
was,
covert kill squad from
Yeah.
what I remember in Civil War.
yeah.
Interesting. I thought it was interesting also, kind of like how I said, like they kind of look like they're brothers, but they were definitely doing a deal where Bucky and Zemo are looking at the reflections of each other, like they're literally marrying each other in different ways.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting too.
And I shouldn't have expected anything except him trying to do the.
I love.
the
Yeah, I was gonna
words
say
again.
that.
I saw that coming and it was great.
I love the first thing he said to Bucky. He's just fantastic.
Right?
I love the dynamic between all three of them because I think what bothers Bucky and Sam so much is they sort of agree with some of the things Zemo says.
Yeah, that they're not
Well-
completely against him.
Well, someone said it the best. They said he's arrogant but right.
Yep, it's
Yeah,
him to a T.
I think that was Bucky who said it, or Sam.
Yeah, I mean, another cool thing was the uniform that he stole when he's breaking out of prison said Justice on it. Like the nameplate said Justice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they're really placing him as like a really great character. Like he actually he's might not be that bad. It's interesting.
Right.
Yeah, and he did come back. He didn't leave.
Yeah, and I mean, and so many of the things that he said are so on point. And I thought it was also interesting how he was one character who he understood the dynamics of superheroes and the Avengers and like these superpowered people, but he also understood like the dynamics of race in America like way better than the average person too. He was really had his finger on the pulse of a lot of different things, which is crazy.
Yeah, when Sam's like, "You're out of line," but also right.
Yeah.
Right. I see him being very similar to like Magneto as a character in terms of he knows, he knows what he wants to do, but he's gonna push the limit to get there. Kind of like Magneto believes his ideology is correct, and he's just not gonna budge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that they were surprised that he shot that guy, I'm like, his whole goal is to stop super soldiers. That guy's goal is to make super soldiers. What did you expect?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he had an interesting thing too about super soldiers, about how we put them on a pedestal and they become icons and kind of larger than life, and then that could be twisted in lots of different ways, which is like a fascinating like thought.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the dichotomy of it with like Steve Rogers or even now John Walker versus Isaiah Bradley is part of it too, is I think the specific narrative that the people in charge want to tell with it.
Ooh, explain a little bit more. Explain that a little more.
Okay, so the narrative behind Captain America, like even back in World War II, it's this whole propaganda thing to a degree, because they didn't immediately send Steve out. He basically went, you know what, I'm gonna go save my friend. Like, he was always a propaganda tool. And even now, like, when John Walker is in the locker room, he's talking about, oh, I'm having to do this whole like shaking hand, kissing babies, Good Morning America stuff. I'm not just fighting. I'm not doing what I do. So it's this whole narrative of, like, we're the best. We're America. Look, we have the super soldier who's going to save the day, or Captain America is going to save the day. And then you have Isaiah Bradley, who's legitimately a hero. He fought, like, Hydra, the Winter Soldier, during the Korean War. They dropped him behind enemy lines to do that. But because he doesn't fit their narrative what they want Captain America to be, for obvious reasons, they lock him up for 30 years and use him as a guinea pig. I mean, the fact that they even have this super soldier serum now, the fact that Power Broker has it, that Hydra had it, is because of Isaiah Bradley, because they used and abused him and locked him up for 30 years, which is insane.
Absolutely. So where does the super soldier serum stand now? So it blew up. Is there any more floating around at all, or?
It didn't look like they had 20 people that were with the Flag Smashers, did it? Because she said we have the last of it. I don't know if that means the last vials or we are the last of it.
Well, they were wheeling out the those barrels, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was in those barrels? Was that the serum?
I think that was supplies for people from the GRC. That's why she blew them up, which was not the best move in my opinion.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about Carly a little bit, because I mean, it was funny early in the episode when they had her, episode introduction. I was really thinking, like, wow, she's super sympathetic, and like, they're showing her crying over the sick people, and like, I was really feeling for her. I was like, she might be the hero of this show, but she really turned the left corner. Suddenly, where do we think she's going from here?
I think she's crossed the line. I mean, initially we had this like thought of, oh, they're terrorists, and then as we're learning more, it's, oh, they're just trying to help the people that have been displaced after those that return from the blip, because obviously people that return after being gone for 5 years need help, but that doesn't mean you boot all the people that stuck around out. So it kind of seemed like she was trying to fight for the little guy and the people that are forgotten, but she's so frustrated, and I'm guessing just devastated by the death of Mama Donya, which was, I don't know, maybe her actual mother, maybe adopted, maybe a teacher, that she's just done and decided to blow up a bunch of people. I mean, here's the thing. We don't know who is in the building. Was it soldiers? Was it innocents? Like,
there was some just people in there.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, she gave this whole monologue about how, like, she had the super soldier serum, that they took it, her veins were burning, we were supposed to feel sorry for her then, and then when she blew that building up, I was like, oh, no, but I agree with Caitlin, it did cross the line, so I don't see no redemption for her, really.
Speaking of people dying, I thought it was interesting how another time that they took an opportunity to kind of mirror things was the death of the scientist, right? It was like eerily close to how, what's his name? Erskine died. He was shot.
Yeah.
Erskine, right? He was shot, and then they essentially blew up the laboratory back in the 40s, right?
Yeah.
That's super similar. I didn't even think about that when it happened.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally like the same thing happening. So does that mean? So does that mean that there's going to be a birth of a new Captain America around the corner? You know what I mean? If they're kind of mirroring the same story.
I mean, I think part of why it was so tragic in the first one was because he had this like relationship and mentorship, and even like you could say father figure relationship with Steve, because he was the one that saw something in him. Like that doctor was just super creepy. So
Yeah.
I could like, I mean, the fact that Sam wants to destroy the shield is so complicated and interesting to me because I didn't think he was that like, you know, he saw the shield as this symbol that wasn't needed anymore, and he saw it as kind of like a symbol of Steve. That's why he put it in the museum.
Something of the past.
Yeah, but now it's like he just sees it as like a symbol of corruption, maybe.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like.
How the heck was he going to destroy the shield?
Right? I thought
What's he talking about?
If he destroyed.
I mean, throw it in the ocean, or
maybe he gives it to.
He's all trying to bend it over his knee. What's his plan? Come on.
Bucky's only got one vibranium arm. I'm not sure how much good that's gonna do.
Tries to throw it in the ocean, it bounces off a boat and comes right back at him.
Right.
Like, oh,
I hate these physics.
That would be the best thing ever.
It could be a whole montage in itself, lighting it on fire, giving it to Hulk, be like, "Hey, Hulk, break it."
That's why I want all
awesome.
the Avengers to show up. It's just him be like, "Can you like try and destroy this really quick?" Like,
oh, that would be great. They should have they should bring back the Marvel shorts and totally do that.
Totally, the one shot.
Another thing I thought was really interesting was the dynamic between Zemo and the Winter Soldier, because I thought it was interesting that apparently Bucky's under his free will, but he still follows Zemo around like a puppy dog, man. Like,
he
it was
has
really
too
interesting.
much trust in Zemo. I don't know if it's like familiarity, where I can't say that word.
You got
it.
Just, I guess, yeah, being around him, controlled by him. I don't know. It might be like one of those complexes.
Yeah, what's it called? Stockholm syndrome or whatever.
Yeah.
Say that.
well, it almost
Stockholm
feels like
syndrome.
he needs a leader, like because he has Steve, and then as the Winter Soldier, obviously is controlled, and then Zemo, and like I think he assumed Sam would step up and take on Captain America, and I would not be surprised if Bucky kind of was like, "I'll help out if he needs it," but now he's like, "Okay, we have no plan. This guy's gonna have a plan. He's smart." So the fact that he's following his lead to a point that you're like, he has not proven he should be followed.
Right.
Like you busted him out of jail just because he's like, "Here's my plan." And you're like, "Sweet, awesome, let's do it."
Like even on a bigger scale, like I think like originally the kind of like the mission of Disney Plus Marvel shows were to kind of take like the second tier characters and kind of put them like in the spotlight and make them, you know, top tier characters.
Yeah.
It's interesting that, you know, so you look at WandaVision, so you look at Vision and Wanda, and now they're like, you know, standing next to all the rest of the Avengers, and obviously hopefully by the end, hopefully by the end of this series Sam will, but like it seems that Bucky is really comfortable where he is as a follower, which is like interesting. But if you think about it, being a follower is kind of like being the ultimate soldier too, so it makes sense thematically too.
100%.
Well, I think plus Bucky's still just trying to find, you know, who he is as a person, and I think he's, you know, comfortable being, I don't know if second in command is the right word, or not having to lead the charge. I think he's okay not taking on that extra responsibility.
Yeah, he's the fist, not the brain.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Because remember, we think about how the series starts, and he's asking Sam if he has a plan. Right? He's looking for someone who has a plan. And what's interesting is Zemo has lots of plans, like 100%. Like, you know, so he follows people with a plan.
It was interesting, the line that Bucky said when he was talking to Sam about the shield. He said that if it came down to it, he would take the shield, and he would just grab it, and he would be Cap. I think I don't know if that's going to come into play later in terms of.
Do you think he was saying that he would become Cap, or do you think he was just saying, "I'll take the shield so you won't destroy it"?
Good question. I have to rewatch. Yeah.
Because even if you take it yourself, that doesn't necessarily mean I'll take on the responsibility myself. Like maybe he would. Maybe he thinks that's how he can find his redemption. Because this very much feels like him going, I can't, like, his redemption arc should 100% be internal, but I don't think he knows how to do that. So he's trying to find it externally. Like right now, I think if we shut down the super soldiers, maybe that'll help.
Right.
Yeah. And I do find it super interesting too how, like, I thought like when we first saw Sam give away the shield, and when we first saw Walker get it and everything, Sam looked like obviously he regretted his choice, but I didn't think he was going to go down this far of a path before taking control of it, because we've seen in the trailers that he gets the shield back somehow and he's practicing with it and everything. We still don't know how he gets there, but I didn't think it was going to go this far where Sam's would rather destroy it than take on Captain America himself.
I think Isaiah Bradley really shook him.
Oh, I totally agree on that. Yeah.
Because Isaiah Bradley should have been the second Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And
he was. It just wasn't credited as. Right.
Yeah. Well, I say it meaning with the shield and the costume and the like as his actions, 100% he was. No doubt about it. But totally. The title and the recognition, no one knows who he is.
Yeah.
Like in the comics, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, because he was a black man in the 50s, and I'm sure that had plenty to do with people not wanting to recognize him as Captain America. And just before you keep going, it seems like Sam's still kind of feeling like that, just because Steve was it for so long, and now it's a whole new world, and like maybe he's just not sure people are ready for that kind of change.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of shows you like how things haven't changed a lot too, right? I mean.
Yeah. Like, why did they go with John Walker and not Lamar Hoskins? I mean, Hoskins seems to have a cooler head, whereas Walker's like,
he can speak different languages.
Hoskins, he was really questioning some of what Walker was doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Hoskins is like, you can't think that they actually busted him out. And Walker's like, I 100% think that they did. He's not wrong, but why is that your first thought?
Right.
But in the comics, Isaiah Bradley, like, he's not a complete secret. He is known within the African American community as the Black Captain America. Whereas in this, like when Sam didn't know, I was a little surprised.
Yeah.
But that works. Like, if you're using this show as like an analogy for like real world, like African American history in general has always been like erased or changed or really just erased. Yeah, I mean, really erased. So I mean, I think it's just like a good head nod to that,
I think it works extremely well because the fact that this is tying in specifically with Sam's journey makes that even more poignant, because you do have this moment of, what's the right choice? Do I take the shield, or apparently do I destroy the shield? Do we try and get Isaiah the recognition he deserves, or should we leave him like in peace so that people aren't like bothering him or attacking him or something? Because it's not necessarily, well, he shouldn't get recognition. It might just be, we don't want to make him a target.
Right. Let's talk a little bit more about John Walker and Battlestar. They decided to go off the books this time. You had an interesting comment, Caitlin, about how he's really mirroring the real Captain America with his actions. Where do we think they're going from here? What's going to happen to them in episode 4? Is this the one where they take the dive and find the super soldier serum themselves? How do we think this is going to turn out?
Well, I do think that they'll have the lead of, oh my God, Flag Smashers just blew up the GRC, who we are working with. That's sort of unclear. If the Flag Smashers have the actual serum and not just we are the last of the people with the serum within us, I could see Walker taking it. That wouldn't shock me, because like his actions in that moment seem to mirror Steve in the sense of, we're gonna go off, we're gonna do this ourselves and figure it out. Steve does that a lot. He doesn't do it out of anger. He doesn't do it out of pride.
Right.
Yeah.
He does it out of.
It's kind of interesting how they end up kind of doing the same things, like Steve and Walker, but Walker's comes out of such a place of just anger and like
ego.
It doesn't seem
ego
coming from as good of a place as it does with Steve.
Right. I think that the Atom Smashers do have some serum, because there was a line that she said of like, oh, we hold all the cards. Power Broker are gonna come. She or he are gonna come begging and to us because we have the rest of the serum. But Battlestar and we didn't get much of them in this episode. I think the next episode we'll get a bigger dose of them, and I think he's got to get souped up. He's got to get He's got to get the serum in him soon. because getting his ass kicked.
Do you
I
think
really like this duality, how they're just coming at two different directions, but you can see they're clearly going to run into each other again for the finale.
Yeah.
if they found it and John Walker took it, do you think Hoskins would take it?
You know, I would love that, honestly, but I think Walker's too self-centered not to take it.
I think Walker will take it. I'm just asking, do you think Lamar Hoskins would also take it?
I don't think
Along with Walker. Oh, okay.
I don't think Lamar would take it.
I don't think so either. Yeah, because I think at that point, it would probably feel like Walker's going off the deep end at that point, and I feel like that might be what pushes them kind of apart more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you guys, it really sounds like you guys don't think that Battlestar is with him to the end, much like Bucky.
It
I
just
think-
seemed like that in this episode. Like the seeds started to get laid out for maybe that kind of separation between them.
Yeah, and they established.
I was gonna say, you can tell in that beginning interaction where they went into it was Battlestar and Agent. He was kind of like hesitant towards Walker's kind of tactics and stuff. So he's kind of like there to like rein him in. So Walker's ready to go off the deep end. I don't think Battlestar is going to be around for that.
I don't think. Go ahead.
No, I mean, if you think about the first episode, when they first introduced Walker and Battlestar walks in, he mentions his anger problems and stuff. So it seems like he really knows his weaknesses better than anybody else. So
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been thinking that the whole time.
Yeah, I think what surprised Battlestar in the moment with the cafe owner was, hey man, this is a civilian.
Yeah. Also, it's really starting to bother me that nobody thought that, maybe we shouldn't make Captain America somebody with anger issues. There might be a little bit of a red, white, and blue flag there.
Yeah, they didn't
It was
know
the 3
like,
Medal of
Bucky
Honors,
Barnes.
bro.
Yeah, they didn't know it's like
3 medals of honor. Okay.
3 medals of honor, MIT study on his body, and no psych exam. That's
Yeah, exactly. No,
Big
the second
recipe.
exam just wasn't needed in this case. We're fine.
Nah.
and remember, Steve Rogers didn't get the serum because he was a good soldier. He got it because he was a good man, right?
100%. Yep.
Apparently, they just ignored that whole thing. Clearly,
Well, that was
they never
Erskine.
watched Captain America: The First Avenger.
Well, if you remember, that was Erskine because Steve was not the guy that the military wanted to get it.
Tommy
Yeah.
Lee Jones didn't want him to get it. That's for sure.
Right.
No.
Erskine was the one who's like, it's him. They're like, really? He can't do a push-up. It's like,
Look
no,
at
it's him.
He's making me cry.
Yeah. So I think this was the moment they took advantage of the fact of, we don't have someone who's in control of this, who has final say. We get to pick who we want, and we're going to pick the kind of soldier we want. They might
moral
regret
compass.
that later.
Yeah, no moral compass in that group.
We will see. So another thing we should talk about: the episode started off with a commercial,
Mm-hmm.
right? The commercial said reset, restore, and reset, restore, and rebuild.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. What? I mean, I thought it was interesting that it was another moment where we kind of see the effects of the blip. But what do we think the larger context of that is?
Well, first thing, I love that we went from this very feel-good commercial to the GRC is apparently militarized.
Right.
Like, they're Captain America's backup to go in and, like, just, attack civilians to get what they want. That doesn't fit your commercial.
There's no good guys in this show, it seems like, except for maybe Sam.
And
I'm interested to see like how long they go with this recovery from the blip angle, because it's been in a couple movies so far. It's been in WandaVision, it was Spider-Man Far From Home, heavy, and then this series too. Like, is it going to continue to be something throughout, like just movies that are going to come out in the future, the future series? Like, this might be a freaking thing that we hear about all the time now.
That's
I
actually a
wouldn't
great
be-
question.
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't a big part of Loki, since aren't they sort of like outside the regular time stream?
Yeah. Or what if?
Yes.
Well,
Although,
I
one
think
what if episode I want to see. I want to see what would happen if the other half was blipped and how they would figure out how to get everybody back. But that's a whole conversation.
Oh, the newbies.
Yeah. Well, like if Spider-Man wasn't blipped, if most of the Guardians weren't blipped, all that. Yeah.
They would fail.
Yeah, remember Strange? One. It was only one way.
Exactly.
It's just Doctor Strange trying to wrangle like the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy and Bucky, and he's like, "Can't do it."
Trying to talk to a tree.
Spider-Man would be just pissing him off the entire time. He's just like, I can't do this.
I think that I don't think we've seen the last of the blip stuff. I think actually, they couldn't have planned it like this, right? But like a year after the blip happened, there was a real world pandemic where everyone's world, real world got changed, and everyone feels like everything's different now. So I think that they're going to lean on this even more than they even initially thought they were, to kind of bring that sense of like drama and abilities for people to relate to what's going on. So I think we're going to see it in a lot of different stuff. I think we're going to see it for years to come.
I definitely see it being part of TV shows. I'm curious how big of a part of the different movies it'll be, just because, like Spider-Man No Way Home, for example, do they have room to address it a lot? Because it seems pretty full.
Yeah.
I think
the only one I'm pretty sure they won't is Black Widow, obviously, because that's a prequel. What I'm kind of thinking is maybe like the early movies of Phase 4, they'll kind of lean more into it, but maybe start phasing it out per se, like maybe in 2022, 2023, something like that, unless the story calls for it.
I could see them doing kind of where, similar with Zemo is tied to Age of Ultron. I could see stuff like that, where maybe, like Flag Smashers even, how they're tied to it. I could see something where it's like, oh, this villain was affected and this happened, or even a hero, maybe like the blip was part of this hero's origin story.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely. I think actually that's a good point. And addressing it in the Disney Plus series is probably the best way to go, because you have time to let it breathe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Right. It was like a one-liner in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah, it was like a joke.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to another thing I was thinking about. So towards the end of the episode, Zemo says something to the effect of, after Age of Ultron, Sokovia was cannibalized. And I was thinking, okay, well, what countries, what could this actually mean for the greater MCU? And my thought was, could that possibly be Latveria? Dr. Doom's home country, kind of cannibalizing the country and kind of putting roots down? What do you guys think of that?
We're going to introduce that.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that little? Because it seemed like a throwaway, but it's one of those things that definitely seems like they'll come back to. What do you guys think of that statement?
Please, yes, hopefully.
I wasn't thinking about it in terms of MCU. I was thinking about in terms of like, oh yeah, that's totally what happens to countries where some horrifying attack or like crisis happens. Then yeah, they get taken over. But that would be a very cool way to introduce some other aspects of the MCU like that.
I can see Latveria being a nearby country.
Yeah.
I mean, just a theory. I mean, like, I think it's really what this show is doing, like, beautifully, is really just taking the MCU heightened realism and then adding real life stuff and layering it in so well. So, like, this is another good example of them having, like, just depth to what's happening here.
And I gotta say this, they didn't tease any X-Men stuff whatsoever, even with Madripoor being the focus of an entire episode. I mean, obviously they laid out other stuff, but no X-Men stuff whatsoever.
I think Madripoor was the tease. I think that we're going to get stuff like where it's more setting up the world building of that and less of like, look, it's Wolverine.
Right.
I think we'll be back there eventually.
Oh, I hope we go back in the next 3 episodes at some point. I mean, I think we kind of have to with Power Broker.
I would assume so.
Well, do you think Sam and Bucky are going to go back there, or we're just going to see what's going on in over at Madripoor?
I think it'll depend on if the Flag Smashers end up there. I think if the Flag Smashers end up there, then I think that could potentially be where there's like a big epic battle between Flag Smashers, Power Broker, U.S. Agent, Bucky and Sam, Zemo.
Sharon Carter.
Ooh,
that would be very cool.
That sounds exciting. We're halfway through. All right, and we got to talk about the most important part of the episode, the most shocking part.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Yep.
What did you think of that?
Oh, that was so cool.
I had no idea that was gonna happen at the end. Like,
I did not think that they would type Black Panther into this show.
so now
It
they're just
totally
adding
makes
another
sense.
layer. Yeah, they're just adding another layer in terms of now they have to like work with this guy who she's hunting at the same time, and maybe she joins them and she has to like
Yeah, is she
work
gonna
with
be
him,
back for
kind
more actual screen time.
yeah.
Well, here's the craziest thing to think about. So that was completely shocking. What's the episode 5 like surprising character?
Oh yeah, 'cause they teased that like 2 weeks ago.
Right? Like if we got this, which no one saw coming until like Brax, you said you're like, I saw the beads, and I'm like, it's Wakanda. No, I'm not gonna say that.
I literally bit my tongue like, oh,
But like if
Can't
that,
be.
right? It's like if that was what they went with here, it were like that's not the surprising character. I have no idea because that
What
to
are we in
me,
for?
like what's so weird about it is it totally felt like it came out of left field, but it also completely makes sense.
they laid the groundwork all episode from the beginning when they repeated how Baron Zemo killed Black Panther's father, T'Chaka.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, there's a couple different ways they did it. I mean,
They set it up last episode with the White Wolf stuff.
Yeah.
right, absolutely,
Mhm,
absolutely.
right,
So
yeah.
okay, so episode 4 starts. What does she have to say to him?
Do you think that he has an obligation as White Wolf to do what she says?
Like an obligation.
They
to
housed
Wakanda.
him for how many? How long did they house him for?
They
Couple
healed him.
years.
Yeah,
They
they
healed
And they
like
healed him.
Yeah, and we're talking about how Bucky's the ultimate soldier and follower. Like, I think that that is probably like one of his someone he owes something to, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if White Wolf is like an actual title and not just like a nickname. Because
Right,
it feels like
exactly.
he might, like, she would be higher up in the chain of command than him.
'Cause she's
So
like second
in-
in command under Okoye, right?
Yeah, she's like
sounds
number
right.
2.
Yeah.
So in the comics, White Wolf is an actual character. I don't want to mess up my Marvel history too much, so you
But
guys
it's
can
not
flag
Bucky.
me. Yeah, it's definitely not Bucky. It's actually I believe he's an adopted brother of T'Challa, and he becomes the head of security for Wakanda. And he's the White Wolf, and he has like a an all white costume. So it's interesting that I always thought it was interesting that they even used that name for him, in the beginning, because it's an actual character. So, I mean, it might speak to his owing something to the Wakanda nation. And then plus too, another interesting aspect of this is at the end of Civil War, T'Challa chose not to kill Zemo because he didn't want vengeance for him killing his father. So what is her actual mission? Is she really on a vengeance mission, or is she just trying to figure out why are you talking to this guy? Or
I can
it
see
really-
them wanting custody because in Black Panther they want custody of the guy who like was a terrorist who stole vibranium and also killed a lot of people.
Claw?
So
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
So I could see them like obviously the Germans can't hold him. He escaped really easily.
Yeah.
So I could see them kind of being here to take custody.
That could be
makes
an
sense.
interesting place for him to end up at the end of the series, Wakanda in jail.
Yeah. Right?
Do
Yeah.
we think, just a quick thought I have off the top of the head, do you think this is setting up maybe Bucky to be involved in Black Panther 2 at all?
Oh, it certainly could be.
Maybe.
I mean, he could help maybe fill a little bit of the void without Boseman there.
It depends if they do. What I was looking forward to was I was hoping to see, because there's cool runs in the Black Panther comics where he actually is on patrol in New York and in the U.S. And I thought, obviously before the death, that would be a cool way to take things to kind of have little adventures over here. So I mean, he'd be a point of contact, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whew. So it's funny. Before one thing I forgot to ask before we started watching the episode was I was going to ask, what do you think is going to be trending by the end of this episode? And I don't think we would have guessed Wakanda.
No.
or
guessed
whatever's trending right now, right?
I would have guessed Nemo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or Sharon.
We're probably right on all of those fronts, actually.
Or
so.
Mandrapore.
All of those options would have been before Black Panther, though.
Right?
Oh man, this is gonna be an interesting week of speculation.
Yeah.
I think that the theories are coming back now. It's
Yeah.
theory time.
Oh no. Oh no. You guys started talking about some secret character that's supposed to come. I don't like that chatter. Let's not talk about any secret characters. Let's
It's so
assume.
interesting.
Come on, TC, give a theory.
Oh man.
Oh, we got 3 episodes left, right?
I vote
3
Ralph
episodes.
Boner.
Oh yeah.
He's the power broker.
This is gonna be a thing
Yes.
every Disney Plus series ever.
Yeah, Ralph Boner or Mephisto. It's one of them. It's got to be.
Oh man.
Right.
Yeah.
You watch, whenever Mephisto does come in, it's gonna be like so disappointing considering.
I think
everything we've said for
They're
probably 2 to 3
freaking writing
years.
Mephisto in right now. They're someone at Marvel in the MCU is being like, oh, we gotta get Mephisto in here now at some point. The
Or
fans
they're just laughing.
want-
Or they're just laughing at us.
Yeah.
Hey Richard, can we take a look at if there's any questions in the chat? See if we can answer anything for you guys, people.
Yeah. Let's see. Wakanda will be trying to create the heart-shaped herb, not the serum. Okay.
Oh,
That's a good point.
Let's see. Oh, this is a good question. Do you guys think Wakanda ever tried recreating the super soldier serum or ever thought about it?
well,
Did
they wouldn't need it because they have the heart-shaped herb, right?
Right.
Well, that got burned when Killmonger
Right.
did his
But
whole thing.
I mean, I don't think that their main concern was super soldier. I think their main concern was, oh my God, our king disappeared.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And protecting the vibranium that they have there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like weirdly, I feel like Wakanda's too honorable to use the super soldier serum.
A little bit. Yeah.
I mean, they're a high-tech based society too, so they're kind of like an Iron Man nation in a way. So,
Yeah.
Well, Iron Man taken to a whole new level.
all right. All right. Is there anything else in there?
Let's see. I was shocked that Ao showed up, but I was even more surprised that it wasn't Okoye.
Oh, that's true. Huh? Do you think we might get a cameo from her?
That'd be cool.
That could be a big one later on.
Yeah, that could be a shocking one for episode 5.
I sort of
Yeah.
like that Ao showed up because it showed to me that, like, because Okoye is in charge of the, I'm going to pronounce this wrong.
Dora Milaje.
Yes. So it kind of shows that they're not just like protectors in the sense of bodyguards. They're like they're agents too.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, if you think about it too, like a lot of the themes that they've been talking about are themes about being African American, and by injecting Wakanda into it, it's putting a whole different spin on the conversation because in this fictional storyline, it's the only African country to never be colonized, right? So it really speaks to a lot of different things, and even Zemo was hinting at a lot of different things about when they were walking across the bridge, and Sam was tripping about the clothing he had on. He was like, well, only American, Black people would think about those kind of things.
Right.
Other places you wouldn't get that you wouldn't even get those that suspicion of those eyes or that those questions. So having Wakanda into the story really could give Sam another look at kind of like a refresh of who he is as well.
Yeah, and it might become, because like with the Black Panther, yeah, he's an icon. Like he's iconic in their country and he's a protector, but it's not just this symbol that's held up on a pedestal. Like you earn that title. So it might kind of become that moment of, what do you mean you didn't take on Captain America? Like it's your duty. You were
Right.
like,
Duty.
because they are like taking on the Black Panther. It's your job. You have to do it. You're the next in line, and it's part of the legacy. And Sam was given the shield as part of the legacy, so he essentially threw away his duty there.
And the tradition,
Yeah.
tradition.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really telling. Yeah.
It seems to me that he kind of wants to just break tradition, really, or in terms of like, what do you guys think the show? I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Like, who do you think is like the main focus of the show so far? Is it Sam's character or is it Bucky? let's start with this episode in particular. This was very Bucky heavy for me because he was meeting up with Zemo. But maybe the first 2 episodes, whose thumbprint do you feel more on this series, Falcon or Bucky?
I feel like we're getting more of an inside look into Bucky, like where he's at mentally and emotionally. Like with Sam, we did in the first episode, but even that was very much tied to his family. Whereas Bucky, it's like, how are you going to like find peace? How are you going to find redemption? And even the second episode, we never actually heard Sam say why he didn't take the shield. We have his speech and his conversation with Rhodey in the first episode, but we never hear him say it to Bucky other than I did what I thought was right. So it was very much like Bucky's more was the story in the second episode because it was his anger, it was his resentment, it was his sense of betrayal. Whereas Sam was more of, this isn't your concern. This isn't your business. It's my business.
Yeah.
And I love the contrast between the anger he felt in that moment and like the end of this episode when Sam was saying that, you know, he should have just destroyed the shield. I think I felt a little more sympathy from Bucky, you know, in that moment because I think he started kind of getting where Sam was coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting question, TC, because it's kind of like where we started off talking about. Bucky's very much in service of other people, right? But his character arc is twofold, right? He has an internal character arc that he's dealing with where he has to kind of be at peace with himself, like Caitlin was saying. But his external character arc is really about helping to prop Sam up. So I think that we're going to see like both of their arcs kind of come together as the series comes to a close.
Yeah.
I think the last 3 episodes are going to be Sam's internal growth centric. I think it needs to. Yeah. Yeah,
because Sam's internal stuff isn't past trauma. It's what he's dealing with now. He's coming to grips with what's happening now with Isaiah Bradley, with the Shield, and all this different stuff. So like the internal stuff is happening as we're seeing it, and Bucky's dealing with past stuff that we're already familiar with. So they had to do that first in a sense to kind of give a sense of fulfillment by episode 6 for Sam's journey.
Yeah, I feel like we got the most like insight into Sam in that moment where he said I should have destroyed the shield. That to me felt like kind of the turning point of the show where it's going to be, okay, now we're going to see inside of Sam's head and where he's at and how he gets to where he is inevitably going, which we're all like 99.9% sure as he becomes Captain America.
Yeah. You know, I definitely agree with you there. I think like the first 3 episodes felt like they leaned a little more to the Bucky side. I think the last 3 are probably going to lean more toward the Sam side as he kind of, you know, accepts taking on Captain America and taking back the shield and everything.
I wouldn't be shocked if part of that was because for Bucky, the shield is about legacy and is about Steve. And Sam kind of needs that to not be the case if he's going to take on the shield.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Finding a way to separate that.
Yeah. It needs to be about him.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Is there anything else in the comments, Richard?
Someone mentioning about, this is a good one. Somebody thought maybe the scientists in Madripoor could have been Tim Blake Nelson, Dr.
Oh,
that would have been cool.
The leader.
The leader. I wanted him to come back.
You mean the guy that they forgot about in the Incredible Hulk movie, the first one?
Yeah.
Hey, it's crazy because
Abomination. So he'd be really cool to bring back in She-Hulk sometime.
Or somewhere, because I mean, Tim Blake Nelson's like a fantastic actor. Like he's a great actor. You guys saw Watchmen or whatever. Like
totally screwed over in Fan Forstick.
Right.
He was in that movie. I didn't even know that.
You saw that movie?
I seen about half that movie and I couldn't do the rest.
You're right. We need to develop some more of Hulk's universe, right? We need to get the leader in there. She-Hulk's come in. Like, can you guys answer this? Is Hulk not still allowed to have like a solo movie because of the Universal thing, or can they have a solo Hulk movie now?
No,
I heard they're working on trying to get him back, but I think as far as it stands right now, he can't. But they're still doing She-Hulk, so hopefully that'll help.
I think that's kind of going to be their avenue into that.
I hope so.
He can show up wherever he wants. He just can't have a movie called The Hulk.
Right.
Can I just
what
throw
if
it?
They called it She-Hulk and the Hulk.
You'd have to just be She-Hulk.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw out a crazy rumor that I read on Reddit.
We love crazy rumors.
Yeah, and the Illuminerdi, you guys can tell me if there's even a slight chance of it happening. But in the She-Hulk Disney Plus series, there's a rumor that it's going to be the citizens of what's that place that Wanda took over? Westview suing Wanda, and it's going to be.
I would not be surprised if that was an episode.
That would be kind of interesting.
Because from what I've heard, and I might be wrong, I might be misremembering this, but the Sokovia Accords are going to be a really big part of it, and she definitely broke those.
Very much so.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be episodic, so I think there's going to be kind of like a villain / monster of the week. Yeah. So like addressing different parts of the MCU.
How would you sue her? She won't be there.
I can't see Wanda just sitting in a courtroom. Like, okay, I'm here.
Sitting in the courtroom, like reading her book and not somewhere else.
Right.
Astro projecting herself there.
Right.
And they're like, guilty. She's like, nah, just
I was like, who's gonna actually like say Wanda Maximoff is guilty of anything?
Everyone.
Oh, I mean,
right.
I know they all think it. Who's actually going to like be brave enough to say it?
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's up to Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Or Baron Mordo.
He just walks in. You're
Or
guilty
Ralph
of
Boner.
everything. What are you doing? You're Ralph Boner.
Oh my god. I'm not sure who's running our own chat for the stream, but so She-Hulk will not be the Marvel version of Harvey Birdman. Because
I really like this question from Glenn Grant. And also, is it just me, or I don't know what U.S. agent's motive is, or he's like basically they're saying he seems lost.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
It does kind of seem lost.
a little bit.
I mean, no,
he in this episode a lot.
No, but TC hit it on the head. It's his ego. It's his ego. He's just trying to accomplish it. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I think it might possibly be a fear of failure too.
That could be it.
Because if you're told you're the best the whole time, but then you have to like be compared to Steve Rogers, it's like going from the star player on the freshman team to getting bumped up to varsity, and you gotta go up against the captain. You're gonna lose, man. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's feeling inadequate to the point where he's gonna want to take the juice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because even in his first scene in the second episode, he seemed lost in the locker room because it's not.
Totally.
He's just like, I don't know how to do the friendly PR stuff. I know how to punch people. You're like, that's not the whole job.
Yeah, your job just can't be punching people.
He's like, I shoot him too.
All those Nemo dancing gifs are already a thing on Twitter.
Yeah.
I told you they filmed that scene for that one.
So weird.
The pump it.
That was amazing.
That's pretty cool. I want to see that, and I want to see Sam trying to break the shield over his knee memes.
Right.
It will be good.
Right.
He's just like hitting it on the ground. He's like, it
hitting it with a regular hammer. Ding.
Using Mjolnir.
He hits it with a hammer, and the hammer just flies off. It's like, oh man.
Exactly.
No, Sam has some secret vibranium cutter stored away. He's just gonna
He makes a deal with AO. He's like, you can take Zemo, but you also have to get the shield.
That actually brings me to a question. So why did Io? Why did she pull Bucky away from the group when she could have pulled Sam and him? Because she knows Sam. Sam spent time in Wakanda as well, right?
A little. I think that
he was there for a couple of years, wasn't he?
No, I think
they were on the
he
run.
was mostly on the run with Steve, and then he came to Wakanda when the battle.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just that I think there's more to Bucky's relationship with Wakanda than we healed you and we kept you hidden. I think I think definitely he owes them, but I think there's even more to it. I think White Wolf is an actual
mantle.
Yeah.
It could be.
Oh, he's definitely indebted to them because I mean, just what he said in the opening episode during the psychiatry evaluation, where he was like, "That was the only time I found peace in my life." Or it's
I had a little calm in Wakanda, yeah.
Yeah.
I almost wish he could just go to Wakanda at the end and just like
chill,
live on a farm,
retire,
like
do what he was doing when he was.
Just go chill in a field of
Like, sit
tall
there.
grass.
Like, I
Yeah.
kind of get where this guy was coming from. This is nice.
Picking apples and fruit with his bionic arm.
The one-armed artisanal goat cheese farmer.
That's the spinoff.
I'm really good at milking goats, yo.
Bucky Barnes takes Wakanda.
Sam pops in just to grab some cheese, and he's like, bye. Everything's going fine. Cut to, like, explosions.
Oh, God.
All right, well, cool. Do you guys have anything else for the episode before we wrap up?
No, I'm really excited. I'm really curious about Power Broker, because the fact that it was called that and we more just heard about them is interesting. This felt to me like the most kind of, sorry TC, but WandaVision moment of, oh man, now I really feel like I don't know what to expect anymore.
Right.
Oh God.
Anything
Glenn,
WandaVision is not going to offend me. Okay, you can
your
say.
character in episode 5 is Bucky as White Wolf. Marvel's trolling us again.
Oh wow.
Oh, God. If that happens, I swear to God.
If that happens, Glenn Grant, we will announce that you are correct on this show.
Yes. And TC will probably leave, like, forever.
I like to rank, so I thought this episode was pretty good. If I were to rank the 3, I would probably say last week's episode number 2 is still my number 1. This one's number 2, and then I guess the first episode, just because of how it's starting and everything, kind of slow, is number 1. Yeah.
I actually think I like this one a little more, just because I really liked the dynamic between Zemo, Bucky, and Sam, and then also like Sharon in there, because I felt it was really interesting, the fact that, man, I agreed with a lot of what Zemo said.
Right. This is the most we've ever agreed with Zemo on anything.
Right? And they did too.
Right.
Those are the best kind of villains. Mm-hmm.
I was having like Agatha flashbacks. I'm like, ooh, I love this.
Right.
I mean, it was like their buddy cop formula. This episode was on steroids because they had just extra buddies. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's totally giving off the Lethal Weapon, Rush Hour, all that vibes.
Do you think Zemo's gonna be with them for the rest? Like, I'm not saying like the show, but with the Bucky and Sam specifically for the rest of the series.
I think the Wakanda.
At least another episode.
Probably. I think the Wakanda thing is gonna put things out ahead. I think it's gonna a decision is gonna have to be made. Like, yo, you can't be running around with this dude that killed our king. Like, what's going on? It's gonna cause some tension.
Bucky would choose?
Wakanda. Oh well, that's a good question.
Oh no, he has the Stockholm syndrome with freaking Zemo. Like,
well, yeah, exactly. There is that, but I mean, I think that it would be Wakanda unless it's going to come into conflict with him honoring Steve.
Yeah. That's why, like, because I had the same thought as you, Brax, of like, of course Wakanda, but it's that moment of, man, Zemo really seems like he has a plan that's going to be successful in stopping the super soldier stuff.
Yeah, I want to find out who this big bad is. I want to find out if it's Zemo, the Flag Smashers, Power Brokers, somebody else that we haven't gotten yet.
When you say the big bad, you mean the secret cameo or like the actual villain of the show?
Like the actual villain, more what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think it's the U.S. government.
yeah.
That would be perfect.
Well, because we don't know who Power Broker was gonna give the super soldier serum to. It got stolen.
For sure.
Was he just gonna sell it to the highest bidder? And if he was, I wouldn't be shocked if that was the U.S.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of villains in this show. There's a lot of different villains. Yeah, like.
And most of them are very sympathetic.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're doing a great job with this show. I'm ready. Now I wish this was a 9-episode series. Dang.
Right?
For 9 episodes.
Minimum.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up for this week because there's another week coming. I'm excited. So, with that being said, TC, give them your how they can reach you.
You guys just follow me on YouTube. Just TC Does Comics. I just talk about Marvel and DC content pretty much.
There we go. Richard, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at @rnevins. I write for here. I also write a lot for the Direct as well, so you can see all my stuff from both websites there. And I'm also doing the New Cap recap show every week. I'll be talking all about this episode and all the episodes and movies to come.
Caitlin, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me on the Illuminerdi for sure, but you can also find me on Twitter at Caitlin Tyrrell, Caitlin_Tyrrell.
There we go. And I'm Braxter. You can find me at Point of Geeks or over on Instagram at illuminerdi.brax. Also, keep in mind, we have a lot of different shows, particularly on Saturdays. We have a bunch of different Power Ranger shows. We have our Star Trek wrap-up show, the Riker Maneuver, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you have nothing to do on Saturdays, come hang with us because we have a lot of different genre to geek out on.
And we've got a Snyder Cut review coming in a
Yes,
little bit.
sir.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
That'll be interesting.
That'll be juicy.
There we go. So with that being said, thank you for joining us. We will be back next week at 11:40, the same place, same time. Can't wait to see you there. Falcon and Winter Soldier wrap up is over. Illuminerdi out.
See ya.
See you guys.